Guys, welcome to your podcast, Titans of Industry, powered by Next Generation Builders. Your host, Frank, your marketing director, and we have also here our CEO, Esteban. Esteban, thank you for joining me here.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
ADU financing in California, FHA Expands. This is what we're going to talk about today, financing. Esteban, what can you tell us about this new?
Yeah, Frank, well, I think it's great news. The fact that financing at a national level is catching up with policy at a state level is great. Working with homeowners, one of the main concerns or questions that comes up is how am I going to finance this? And so having more opportunities through FHA to finance with these conventional loans is incredible.
So you mentioned the homeowners. Obviously, this is the main thing that we need to talk about because this affects them a lot and helps them as well. What does this mean for the homeowner?
Well, for the homeowner today, there's two parts of this new policy, right? And so the first one is, if you didn't know before, when you were purchasing a single family home and it happened to have an ADU on the property, they were not counting the rents as they would in a regular multifamily purchase or an apartment building purchase. They were not counting these rents or even the value of the ADU, which a lot of people would argue, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to build these, and there's, very high rents, specifically in California. So not using either the rents or the value did not make sense. So now we will be able to use up to 75% of that future value, or the existing value of that unit on your purchase or to qualify for your purchase. So that's just great news. That can be an extra $2,200, $3,000 that you can add to your household income on a monthly basis.
That's amazing. That's definitely something beneficial to a homeowner as well. Now, we also get a lot of realtors asking about this specific loan and how does that affect them? What do you think about that?
Well, for realtors, it's just being able to qualify more customers that maybe can't get into a single family home on their own income. Multifamily or like duplexes, quadruplexes tend to be a little bit on the higher end of the market. So here comes ADUs. Let's see where they're going to be appraised. They might be somewhere in between, in the middle, and using that rental income to qualify the customer, the borrower, is going to really help to create more homeowners, which is what the state is really looking to do based on this type of policy.
Are there any appraisal requirements that are needed for this specific?
Well, as I understand right now, part of the policy is how are they going to be appraised, and I know they're going to be able to take into consideration what are the rents of that ADU, what is going to be the cost of the ADU to build, so to be able to determine what is the actual value of this ADU, right? And so to determine those two factors, the rent and the value of the ADUs, which before, there was not really a clear pathway for appraisals. And so they were, in many cases, just not even taking into consideration the value of the ADU. So that's a great help to both realtors, but also to investors, because they've been sitting on properties where they built ADUs. They haven't, sold these properties to the public because their properties are not appraising for what they're expecting, based on the investment that they made. So we need to get the right appraisals on these properties to promote investors to continue to build them and builders to continue to build them, as well as homeowners have access to more housing.
Do you think this will bring more affordable housing and the potential in the future?
I think it's really going to depend on all types of scenarios. I think the fact that you can use this rental income will specifically help certain homeowners, and the tenants that will be renting these units will be able to have access to more affordable rents. It's really early to say, right? So maybe if there's more of a demand that's there's more units created, the idea is that should, kind of reduce the cost of housing when there's more options to go around.
Fantastic, definitely. Is there anything else that we're missing that we should let our audience know in regards to this specific?
I know there's one part of the policy that I didn't touch on, which is for people that are living in the property already and they don't currently have an ADU and they want to build an ADU, refinance, pull a little bit of cash out and add an ADU. We've been coming across a lot of situations where, basically the FHA banks were not taking that future value of the ADU or the future rent. And so now certain borrowers will be able to use the future value of that ADU and the future rents to build these projects. And most of the financing available to that type of after rehab value was maybe one or two in the whole state, very limited and very constrained qualification, so making it a lot harder for clients. So this FHA move is going to encourage more people to refinance and build ADUs.
Thank you so much for your time, Esteban.
Thank you,
for
brother.
everybody out there. We have a full article on our website that we're going to link below so everybody could access that as well. If you have any questions, you know what to reach us. Free consultation. We're here for you. Thank you for being part of our podcast today at Next Generation Builders, Titans of Industry.